I am still reading Barbarians at the Gate, the book about the R.J.R. Nabisco takeover.
Nabisco.
Okay.
Sorry.
The Simpsons.
No, that's not it.
It sounds very similar.
It is, but it's the wrong intervals.
I don't remember hearing the Nabisco thing that you keep repeating.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I was like big when I was a kid, and they still do. Nabisco.
Interesting.
And by the way, The Simpsons is a totally different interval. It's a tritone.
Explain it to me.
So Nabisco is Nabisco,
Yeah.
and The Simpsons is The Simpsons. So
okay.
It's hard to explain because I don't have a piano here.
Yeah.
I would show you, and it wouldn't take very long. If you're playing C to an F sharp,
yep,
that's a tritone.
And the Nabisco thing is not that.
No.
Okay. You should write jingles, babes.
You know what? I think I was supposed to do that in a class that I was taking, because I was taking this commercial music theory class, but we ended up not writing jingles. We just wrote like a song that we came up with.
Interesting.
We just wrote in song form, not in jingle form.
It seems that there's this big thing in American society of people saying, well, I was supposed to do this or I was going to do that,
yeah,
but then such and such happened, and that cool idea never came to fruition.
Or the direction I was thinking about going didn't turn out that way, so I ended up going a different direction.
What do you mean? Oh, that's something else people hear.
Or I hear people say, and that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes you plan it one way and it ends up not being what happens.
And it's better for you in the long run.
Yes.
But oftentimes I've noticed that people just talk about the things they could have done.
It could go either way. Some people some people focus on what could have been, and other people say, well, I was going to do it this way, but I realized that I was going in a different direction, and I'm glad that I went that direction.
I've noticed it's more people to say I made a mistake by not doing that thing.
Well, because they have they have regrets about that.
Yeah.
But not everybody does.
No, most of the people I know do, though.
Yeah, but that's like a small percentage of people.
I know, but I can only really speak for the people who I know, babes.
Only a few people, though.
I know, I don't know everybody, babes.
I don't know everybody either. I'm just saying,
Okay.
I think a lot of people could go either way. Like, they focus so much on what could have been rather than looking at it as another opportunity.
Well, here's a story I've heard, but obviously I don't know for sure. I don't know any of the people involved in the story.
Uh-huh.
So Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs were working at, I believe, Xerox, but I could have that wrong.
Oh, wow. The company that makes copy machines.
Exactly. And again, I might be remembering the wrong name of the company.
Yeah.
But they were, starting Apple Computers.
Mm-hmm.
They got a guy to invest and help put the deal together, and they were going to give him a third of the company. Okay, so the guy goes home, tells his wife, and this is like sometime in the 70s. I'm guessing 75.
Uh-huh.
Maybe as late as 77.
Before we were even born.
Yeah, something like that. And the guy's wife told him to get the money back. Wow. So he got the money back. And I think I heard this in like 2010. They said that had he kept his investment in Apple and stuck with it through the years, he would have been worth something like $300 billion. Wow. But instead, he ended up dying on welfare.
Whoa.
Yeah, in Vegas.
Steve Wozniak?
No, the third investor did.
Oh. Yeah. Wow. So he never got any of it.
No, because his wife talked him out of it.
Wow.
My wife got in the way of my fortune.
It kind of makes you wonder, did he talk to her again after? Did he talk to her again about that?
Oh, I think they might have divorced over something like that.
Wow.
You
know what that kind of reminds me of?
What?
That kind of reminds me of that movie, A Simple Plan, where.
Okay.
Well, no, the reason why I say that is because, his wife. I forgot who played the main character.
Bridget Fonda.
Bridget
is the wife, and Bill Paxton is the husband.
Bill Paxton's character's wife, Bridget Fonda, I forgot what her name was. I think it was Jennifer or something. Anyway, how she had a plan to um, take some of the money and not wait until you find out. She wanted him to go back and take some of the money and keep it for himself, and then give it away to people that need it or whatever it is. I mean, and she got heavily involved in that plan, and it ended up not being so simple.
And the same with this guy who could have been a multi-billionaire had his wife not stepped in to make sure that he died in welfare in Vegas.
And he didn't have to follow what she said. He could have said something like, well, I really think I need to try this. I appreciate your advice, but I think I need to try this.
Exactly.
He could have said to his wife, well, I appreciate that, but I'm going to try this and we'll see what happens.
And that's one of those things you regret that for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way around that.
Yeah, one bad decision could really turn your life either in the right direction or the wrong one.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's all, life is full of good decisions and really bad decisions.
But then we also got to think, how would that have affected American history? So let's say, and I don't know this man, I'm just making wild assumptions, that he would have supported evil politicians had he gotten all this money for keeping his investment in Apple, and maybe that would have sparked something. I don't know. I
guess we'll never know because he's dead now. Yeah. When did he die?
Well, I think he's dead. The last I heard about this guy was in 2010 or 2011.
Didn't you say that he died on welfare?
That's what I said. I believe that's the case.
Oh, yes. So you don't even know if the guy's dead?
I believe he is.
Oh my goodness.
That's what I choose to believe.
Okay, so you're making up a rumor that he died on welfare in Vegas.
I know that he was on welfare in Vegas in 2011, and I'm assuming he's dead now.
Okay, well, I think you should check on that then.
Okay.
Whatever his name is. You can't make up rumors like that, just like you made up rumors about Dr. Oz, which you might be right about it, but I'm not too sure about that.
Well, his campaign is doing such a bad job.
It's so bad.
But think of it like this. It's not only that his campaign is doing a bad job, regardless of what you think of Dr. Oz, he does have a way of communicating with people. And again, I don't watch his show, but just by the fact that he was popular for so long. So the fact that his campaign is doing such a bad job leads me to believe that he realized at some point he doesn't want the pressure of being a politician.
Maybe he realizes that he can't win this. I don't know. He hasn't, as far as I know, he hasn't resigned from the running.
No, but I think it's one of those things so where he got the nomination, he realized that it was going to be too much pressure. And so instead of resigning from the race, he just came up with the conclusion, I'm not going to push this too hard.
In other words, I'm going to see what happens, but if it doesn't happen for me, I'm okay.
Yeah, and he's not going to fight for it.
I hope he isn't, because I think he would be a lousy senator.
Because think about it. He ran in the Republican primary, got Trump's endorsement in a state where I don't think Biden is super popular. And not only that, Dr. Oz is a household name for, I think, a couple of decades. Obviously not a household name in my house.
I think at least 20 years, or maybe even, I think at least 20 years.
And he's a master of public relations. He should easily be winning in the polls.
But even before he started running, I learned all this other stuff about his life, and what he tried to market is totally different than what he actually thinks. And I think the American people in Pennsylvania really caught on to that Dr. Oz is just not... I mean, I've heard more than one person say that Dr. Oz should not be running for the Senate. Mm-hmm. And it may be possible that the other guy will get it.
I think that he doesn't want the pressure of being hated everywhere he goes. And he's starting to realize that that's going to be the case if he becomes a politician.
Yeah, because the last time I heard anything was on Saturday when somebody was interviewing him, and I didn't really care to listen to it because I could care less about what he says when it comes to politics, because I don't agree with a lot of the things that he believes in. So, but I haven't heard hide nor hair of what's going on in his campaign because it's just going downhill,
Mm-hmm.
which understandably so.
Oh, and he's a Trump endorsement there, Jaylo. But I'm
Yeah,
glad to know that you don't agree with
no,
Trump on that.
I don't. And I also think that I also don't agree that Dr. Oz, after he was endorsed, he just never acknowledged the person who endorsed him after that. I think that when you run for any kind of office, I think it's always the courteous thing to acknowledge who helped you in your campaign.
And keep it real. I'm not a Trump fan, but everybody knows that the only thing the Republican Party stands for is are you for or against Trump?
No, not
And
every. No. That's not true.
it's not.
The Republicans. I mean, by the way, the MAGA movement happened even before Trump was in office. Let's
Okay.
just get that straight right now. A lot of Republicans have been tired of the same old rhino Republicans like Lindsey Graham who have been in office. It's more than just are you for or against Trump, it's are you for or against the country. And if you're not going to represent us, we want you out. That's exactly what we stand for. And there are people that are sitting on their hands like Mitch McConnell, who I really don't like, and Ted Cruz and Lindsey Graham that really won't lift a finger to do anything for the people of their party.
Yeah, I would tell you as an outsider, it seems to me like the things both parties need to get past is Trump, because it seems like that's the only thing that matters. That's a litmus test in both parties. In the Democratic Party, it's are you anti-Trump? Well, if you are, you're cool. And in the Republican Party, it seems like if you're not completely behind Donald Trump, you're not a true Republican.
Yeah, but
that's how I
but that's completely wrong.
Okay.
I think, no offense,
Go ahead.
but I think you're looking at this from a leftist perspective.
I am.
Which I understand that because that's where your politics lies, but this is not correct.
Okay.
I think a lot of Republicans were tired of the mealy-mouthed Republicans who have been in office way too long, and they're looking for something different.
I got a question for you then.
Okay, and then I think we should talk about something else.
No, that's completely fair.
Okay.
Now, we both know that I think, borrowing a health issue, Trump is definitely going to run in 2024. I think that if he has a health issue, I could see him not running, but that's the only caveat to that.
Uh-huh.
And I think we're pretty much on agreement with that.
I think so. I mean, it looks more and more like he may run. He never made an announcement. It looks more and more like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can't say for certain because I don't know.
I guess my question would be,
yeah,
if the Republican Party isn't just about, the litmus test isn't just Trump, is there anybody you could see running against Trump in the primaries that you would vote for?
I don't know that there is, really. Because, like I said, all Republicans are looking for is somebody that wants to put our best interests first before other countries. And as you are seeing in the people in Biden's camp are putting Ukraine before us. That's where a lot of the baby formula is going. That's where a lot of our money is going.
Well, let me say,
hold on.
No, I got to push back a little bit. I don't completely agree with you. Having said that, I could see as an outsider where it would seem like that.
It is. That's what's going on. Our money is going to Ukraine and China right now. And we want somebody, whoever runs, to want to take care of our country because there's a lot of things that are going on here that Biden isn't doing. And you would agree with me on that.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
We need someone that will that will be very, very on top of what the immediate needs of our country are. And he seems to forget that stuff is going on here, and he's providing ammo and money to the Ukrainians, even though, I mean, yes, they are a smaller nation than us, right?
Yeah.
But we need to take care of stuff here.
And not only that, Ukraine should have some backing by Europe, right?
Yeah.
But I would make the argument that just because just because Biden isn't doing the right thing doesn't mean that Trump was. So what about all the tax cuts to the rich?
Yeah, but we're not talking about tax cuts to the rich. I'm talking about who should represent our country in general. I'm not talking about... And the left likes to talk about fair share and equity and inclusion and diversity when it's just another way to get votes. That's the way I see it.
I think in most cases you're correct.
I think that they're not... Yeah, I think that they don't care. They don't care about everybody else except for who should get the best outcomes and who shouldn't get the best outcomes. But the problem with that is that a lot of people aren't really falling for that.
But the Republican Party, or Trump's wing of it, seems to just care about that too, because, okay, so we have things like tax breaks for the rich.
No, not necessarily. There hasn't been just tax breaks for... I mean, there's been tax breaks for other people, but you're looking at it...
But
you're looking at it because Trump is a rich guy. You're seeing it as because Trump is a rich guy, then he would automatically give tax breaks to the rich, and that's just not true.
But here's the thing. His tax bill in, was it 2017 or 2018? I think it was the 2018 tax bill. There were some provisions in there for small businesses. But when you look at the fine details, I think they said 83% of the tax benefits go to the top 1% of the country.
And who told you that, TYT?
TYT did tell me this, but it's also Democracy Now!
Yeah, but they're leftist-leaning bureaucrats that really aren't speaking for the rest of our country.
But I can make the same argument about Fox News or Newsmax.
Well, I don't even watch them anymore because I think that they're not representing us correctly, and you can't. Those are really bad examples to use.
What news sources do you go to? Trumpisright.com.
That's it. That's fighting words, Bubs. Okay, Bubs.
All right, give me a kiss.
I think we need to move on here.
But what are your news sources?
There's Real America's Voice. You haven't heard of them, have you?
No.
No, I'm serious. It's a good platform, but it's a very small one.
Well, give me a kiss.
And no.
Why not?
That's one of my sources.
Okay, give me a kiss.
No.
Why not?
Because.
But this is Real Rick's voice. Give me a kiss. Real American. Okay, all right. All right, give me a kiss. Give me a kiss.
No,
give me a kiss.
No, you mocking.
No, you are. Okay, so give me a kiss.
You know, there's Mockingbird. You're Mocking Boy.
All right, give me a kiss. Son. Give your Mocking Boy a kiss.
Oh, you're Mocking Boy? Okay. Stop laughing at me.
All right, so let me get back to this Republican primary question.
Okay.
And you would even admit this, at some point, Trump seems to have a falling out with everybody he associates himself with.
Not necessarily.
Well, we can at least say that the record of him staying cool with the people he's around isn't all that great.
No, it is. No, it is.
Really?
There's a lot of people that have stayed around, even though they either resigned or they were fired for whatever reason. Oh yeah, there's an amount. There is quite a percentage of people that are still around.
Let me rephrase this.
All right.
Maybe you would say that he's not always the best at picking his inner circle.
But hold on a second. You have to take into consideration that the people that were in his cabinet, some of them were Obama appointees, so they stayed there, and they just ended up in his cabinet. And you also have to take into consideration that he was never a politician before this happened, and he didn't always have the best people around him to give him advice.
Okay.
And I also don't think he's that stupid to not know what's really going on.
Couple of pushbacks. Granted, he wasn't a politician, but he had a history of working with politicians. And supposedly, he was a successful businessman, which means that he should know how to delegate.
Yeah, but you're assuming that because he's a businessman, that he's going to get everything right. And I would admit that there were things that I was kind of scratching my head over, but a lot of the things I agreed with, and there are still people that are still around today.
Okay.
That are still in his camp.
I do want to get to the Republican Party.
I do want to get out of this.
But before we get there, who were the holdovers from Obama's administration that you speak of?
There were let's see, let me think. I think I'm trying to remember now. It's not coming to me. I'm sorry.
Because I don't think there are any.
No, there are. There are some people that ended up in the White House. Maybe not a part of his cabinet. Maybe I should clear that. Not necessarily a part of the cabinet. There were some people in the White House that stayed there because they were from the last administration. And I'll look them up for you if you'd like.
Yeah, because it sounds a little suspect. Now, I know one of my criticisms about Obama, again, the reason I think Obama was such a horrible president was because he took every opportunity to try to reinvigorate the image of George W. Bush. And he kept a lot of people from Bush's administration over, which I thought was a huge mistake of his. But to the Republican primaries.
Okay.
Okay. If Rudy Giuliani ran against Trump, who would you vote for?
That's a really good question because even people were saying that Ron DeSantis should also run for president. I'm looking for someone that would have the same policies as Trump. Not necessarily. I mean, if Trump doesn't win, which I understand that if Trump doesn't run,
yeah,
which I understand that could happen, if somebody ran that has basically the same policies and that was representing, that wanted to represent our country, then sure, I'd vote for Rudy Giuliani.
Oh.
I would also vote for Ron DeSantis, but that also, that would also mean that Donald Trump was running now. If he did run, if Trump did run, and those people that were running against him did not run, it's possible that they might end up in his cabinet.
Here's what I think is going to happen with the Republican primaries. I think, and we disagree on this, but I think the Republican Party is basically should be renamed the Trump Party at this point. They're all about Trump. So here's what...
Not everybody is, bub.
But I think it's few and far between. So here's what I think is going to happen. Trump will have a little bit of opposition in the primaries, but it'll basically be people running just to say, hey, we want to show that this isn't the party of Trump, so we're going to put up one or two weak candidates against him, and he's going to overwhelmingly sweep the Republican Party nomination. He's going to get it easily because they're not going to put up any real competition against him because nobody wants to offend him or the base. I could be wrong with that, though.
Well, I mean, you could be right. I mean, there might be some very weak candidates.
Yeah.
That he could just very well crush. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. There's still also midterms, and there's a lot of strong people that are running. So, running in different states. And
the midterms look to be very interesting because up until a month or two ago, it looked like the Democrats were going to get swept. And now there's a little bit of uncertainty.
I don't know about that. It's not looking too good for the Democrats, in my opinion.
It's not looking as great as it was for the Republicans.
Why would you say that?
Well, because one, the pro-freedom party, who is not only, don't get triggered, anti-abortion, but also anti-gay marriage and anti-contraception. I think people are... What? What?
We're going to go there again.
Yes, we are. People aren't liking that.
Okay, first off, what people? Leftist leftist bureaucrats and oligarchs.
Well,
and,
I would invite you.
And young socialists that don't know anything more except for Marxism. I mean, was that what you're talking about?
I like the way you word things.
That's right.
Okay, I would invite you to consider a couple of things. Real Evelyn, I have the right to take a tour now, babes.
Hey, this is my house, okay?
It's an apartment, babe. So
okay, my apartment.
Give me a kiss.
It's my apartment.
All right,
Let's get that. It's my.
All right, well, give me a kiss then.
No.
Yeah, because it's your apartment and I'm your guest. Okay, so.
Yeah, but you're okay. Go on.
Okay. A lot of the poll numbers have changed. If you've looked at it. Since June, people are overwhelmingly in favor of abortion rights and gay marriage.
That's not correct.
And
that is not
I'm not
correct.
saying that everybody. I'm saying the vast majority.
That is not correct.
There were some states where there was a special election, and they were trying to get people to remove abortion rights from the state constitution, and it failed with like 60% of people voting.
Okay, first off, that is not abortion has never been a constitutional right.
No, but it was in the state's constitution. I forgot the name of the state, but they were. I know you're gonna hate this. They were talking about it on TYT the other day. I would also invite you to consider Sarah Palin is somebody who is beloved by the Republican Party. And up until recently was beloved by the people of Alaska. I don't know why. I am saying she's beloved by me, but she lost an election to a Democrat.
Oh.
So.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean. Oh, okay. First off, I think, I don't know if I can completely trust every single poll number unless there's actually truth that it's not looking good for the Republicans. I don't believe that the vast majority of Americans is for abortion, and I don't think that the vast majority of Americans is for same-sex marriage at all. I think it looks that way because a lot of these people that are for that stuff are young, purple-haired socialists who want to bring children into bars for a drag queen story hour.
All right, sorry. All right.
Hey, I'm just giving my opinion, okay?
You are, but when I give my opinion, I get to go too.
Okay, can
all
we
right,
move
give
on?
me a kiss.
Can we move on?
Give me
please?
a quick kiss. You're gonna have to kiss me.
Why?
Because it's either that or a tickle war. And also, too, you are right. The polling has been incorrect before.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that the Democrats are going to sweep this year, but I think that they're going to do a lot better in the midterms than they were going to do before Clarence Thomas made some of his statements and the Supreme Court came out against gay marriage because...
Okay, first off, you have to look that up because I've looked up what Clarence Thomas was trying to say in his statement. And I think a lot of the vitriol that's been happening with him and the Democrats have stemmed even as far back as when he became a justice of the Supreme Court just because he was a black conservative. I think that a lot of it depended on the fact that he was a black conservative, and automatically when Roe v. Wade was brought back to the states, they automatically thought, oh, well, Clarence Thomas is making a statement, then contraception and same-sex marriage is going to be outlawed. That's not correct.
Well, he said he wanted to revisit those things.
That doesn't mean that anyone that was a same-sex couple would not be able to get married. They would be able to find a way to get married because Hawaii has always been a state that kind of welcomed that.
Not always, since the early 2000s.
All I'm saying is the crazy accusations against somebody like Clarence Thomas has always been one of the ways that the Democrats have tried to turn people against this person. I'm serious. He is one of their targets, and I think
I need to speak.
No. No, you've spoken already. It's time for me to talk now. You had your say. Now let me talk. I honestly think that before you're going to make a declarative statement that they're going to take gay marriage and contraception, which I never heard that before. I don't know where they get these crazy ideas. But I honestly think you should actually look at what he said.
Yeah, he said he wanted to revisit the cases that made those legal on a federal level.
But that was probably dealing with the lie that there was a right to privacy in the Constitution, which there wasn't anything. And I'm talking about in terms of abortion. Okay. No one is trying to say that it's illegal to get contraception because people are going to get it anyway. No one is trying to say that a homosexual couple would not be able to marry because they're going to find a way to marry even if they get out of the country.
Well, no one is trying to say that today, but what he is trying to say is let's revisit those things. And typically, people don't revisit those things because they think that they want to they love those things. Yeah,
this is another leftist slant. I'm pretty sure of it. There we go.
Yeah, you go.
Now?
Yeah, you go. All right, 2 quick things.
What?
I would also say, babe, one, he shouldn't say stuff like that if that's not his intention.
Well, he has his opinion.
He's entitled to his opinion.
He's entitled to his opinion, and I honestly think that before you're going to make declarative statements, you should look up exactly what he has said.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of the cases, but he wanted to revisit the cases.
That doesn't mean that anything's going to change. That means he wants to look at the legal standing. It doesn't mean that anything's going to change. I'm just saying.
Well, the legal standing right now is that it's legal. You gotta let me talk to you.
I'm just saying, Bubs. I'm just saying.
Real quick, babes. Now your claim that the left hates him because he's a black guy who's conservative.
I think it is.
I would make the argument that the left has problems with him because, one, he's changing the course of our nation in not such a good way. Well, listen, if it wasn't for Clarence Thomas, we might have not have had George W. Bush as president.
A likely story. No, it's because he's a black.
You gotta let me speak too.
No, okay.
Also, there is reason to believe that he was guilty of sexual harassment. I would invite you know who Anita Hill is?
Yeah, but I've been hearing that Anita Hill wasn't exactly forthcoming with what kind of a person she was either. So I don't know exactly the entire case because I was too young to understand that. But I heard that they were using the Anita Hill story. And they did the same thing. They did the same thing to Herman Cain too. When Herman Cain was running for president.
Oh.
And there was one woman who came out and said that he supposedly sexually harassed her.
Wait a second. I thought it was 9 women.
No, it was 1.
Okay. No, because of his 999 plan.
That's it, Bob.
No, babes, stop.
That's it, Bob.
Okay. Yeah. But the other thing too, babes, that's going to hurt the Republicans is if Trump keeps trying to convince Republican voters that the elections are rigged, which, by the way, historically they've been rigged by Republicans, but
no, the only one that was really affected was the 2020 election, but that's another story.
2000.
Move on.
Hold on. By the way, at this point, I love that Trump keeps saying that the election was rigged because it'll get less Republicans voting in the future. That's
it, Bubs. Those are fighting words. Okay.
Okay, you mean it.
Okay. That's enough. Okay.
Anyways, babes, I know I keep sounding like a broken record. You probably know what I'm going to ask next, so why don't you ask it for me?
No.
All right. When are we going to do our news exchange? Because you keep saying that I watch lefty media, and I keep saying that you watch basically insane people. So when are we going to do a news exchange, and I can watch a mental patients run a news?
Whenever I decide.
I realize that.
I haven't decided yet, actually.
Why are you so afraid of this?
I think it's because I had a horrible time the last time because I was listening to 3 hours of depressing media.
I also had to listen to Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah, but you would admit he was a lot more upbeat than Amy Goodman ever was.
I would make the argument, though, that he had a reason to be. He helped ruin our country.
Ruin our country?
Yeah.
Yeah, but look. If you spent and unfortunately I did not listen to him as a young girl because I didn't know much about politics. I wasn't interested in learning about politics, and I wish I would have been interested when I was growing up. But with any person, with any talk show host, you have to look at what is real and what isn't. And I think there's a difference between someone who's looking at this from a biased point of view and someone that actually knows what's really going on and actually has factual information.
Wait a second. You don't think that Rush Limbaugh had a bias?
I don't.
Really?
Stop laughing.
Really?
No. I think there is a total difference from propaganda versus what's really the truth. I'm serious. Do you want me to tickle you again?
Do you want me to tickle you?
Hey! Open your arm. Hey, Bubs.
What?
Ow.
All right, give me a kiss. The tickle truce.
No, that hurt.
Okay.
You say sorry.
Sorry. Are we having a tickle truce?
Do you want me to give you do you want me to pinch your stomach?
Do you want me to keep tickling you? Let's tickle.
Not right now.
Let's kiss.
You said let's tickle? Oh, okay. Okay.
Tickle truce?
Yes.
All right, give me a kiss. Give me a kiss.
People are listening to this and saying, you guys are really weird.
Oh my goodness.
Or maybe it's wick.
Oh my goodness. No, it's Alana for not realizing that Rush Limbaugh was propaganda. Oh, we're tickling again.
No, actually, hold on. I wasn't going to do that.
Oh, well then.
I was going to do this.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Okay. I'm trying to
Break up my knots.
I'm trying to massage the knots out of his shoulder.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Anyways, Rush Limbaugh is definitely propaganda. Racist man. Hates America. Would never go to war itself, but loves it when U.S. soldiers die. Yes. Anyways, babes.
Okay, one more. Hold on.
All right. Rush Limbaugh probably used to burn the flag every morning. Before they do.
You stop it.
I heard at his funeral.
Okay,
they burned like 80 flags.
You stop it now.
Okay.
By the way, I wasn't trying to constrict his breathing.
Oh, good. So when are we going to do this news exchange? I'll get you listening to Kyle on Secular Talk because he has a podcast now, and you can get me listening to Real World News Network or whatever it is.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'll let you know when I decide because I have not decided, and I'm not sure how that's gonna go. And we could even I mean, it doesn't always have to be about. We could, if I decide to do this.
Yeah.
I don't think it should be limited to just news sources, but public different websites.
Oh, so not just like news commentators, but like I could have you read from worldsocialistwebsite.org and you'll have me read from
Wall builders.
What?
Wall builders.
Well builders?
Wall builders.
Wall builders?
Yep.
Oh my god.
What?
That sounds really racist.
No, wall builders. It talks about American history.
Okay.
And that is also that also has a link to politics.
American history? Of course it does.
No. That No. I mean, that that website. Yeah, it's basically about American history, but I think it's also something that uh, will go hand in hand with political stuff. So.
Oh, interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'll have you read World Socialist websites.
Oi.
I still think that their eulogy to Ronald Reagan was one of the best out there.
Who wrote the? So I don't think I think I saw part of his funeral, but I don't remember who wrote it. Who read the?
Well, I'm talking about the one that was written on the World Socialist website.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you hate Ronald Reagan.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Ronald Reagan was... what are you doing? What are you doing?
I thought we weren't talking about how much you hate Republicans now.
Oh, we're not.
No, I thought we were going to be talking about other stuff because we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, and in fairness, Ronald Reagan did come out against gun rights in California, but it was, of course, after he realized that the Black Panthers had guns. Now, Jaylo, let's move on from this.
I just said that.
Okay. Good. I'm happy for you there, babes. Okay. But anyways, Barbarians Barbarians at the Gate is really good so far.
That's funny how you transitioned back after we talked about this.
Well, you brought us down that rabbit hole, babes.
I did?
Yeah, because you started talking about Dr. Ozzy.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
but then you went even farther down there, which I wasn't even sure why.
Oh my goodness. Because it is one of the most important subjects of our day. And I hate both political parties. You know, I just hate the Democrats slightly less. But yeah.
Okay.
Vote Cori Bush for president. And now, moving on, babes.
Yeah, I doubt she's going to win. But anyway, go on.
Oh, I hope she gets nominated at least, okay? Yeah. You know what's weird, babes? I haven't heard a lot of people on the left talking about her as a viable presidential candidate.
They're probably not going to pick her then.
Oh.
I mean, if they haven't talked about her yet, they're probably not going to pick her.
Oh. Well, I love you, babes. As long as it's not Biden.
Sure. I doubt that they're going to pick him.
I hope not.
I think, and even a lot of lifelong Democrats were thinking to themselves, why did I even vote for this person?
Like, he's done slightly better the last couple of weeks, but he's still, you know. I like the new nickname they have for him now, Bare Minimum Biden. I think Kyle from Secular Talk, I heard him say that.
Beijing Biden, Bare Minimum Biden. I mean, he has more nicknames than what I could even count.
Oh my goodness, Trump has a lot of nicknames.
It seems like weekly nicknames.
Yeah, Trump has a lot of nicknames too. The one I really like with Trump, babes. Here, get.
No.
Get.
We're moving on.
You don't want to hear my favorite track name?
No.
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna have to think of nicknames for you.
Well, hold on. Here, no. Put your hand here, and I'll tell you my nickname. The nickname I like for the nickname I really like for Trump is criminal. All right, moving on, babes. Babes, it's time to move on.
Okay.
Oh.
Go on.
Oh yeah.
His shoulders.
You have a lot of energy this morning, which I'm surprised by, because you told me that you woke up at 4 a.m.
Close to 4. I'm not even actually sure what time. It might have been somewhere between 3:30 and 4. But right now I'm full of energy. Yeah. Jaylo is full of energy.
I noticed that there, little Jaylo.
Little Jaylo.
Yes.
Okay.
We know I've been reading. Did you do any reading this morning?
I did not. I was trying to find out. Not find out, but I was trying to get more sleep. So no, I didn't.
Oh, so you were just laying in bed then?
I was.
Nice.
I was trying to, and then I had to go to the bathroom. So.
I was out though.
Yeah.
I slept really good last night. Once I finally fell asleep.
I'm sure you did.
Yes.
I had no dreams, by the way.
Neither did I. I need to look for another book to read after this one.
Okay. Don't forget. I mean, I know I have a ways to go, but once I'm done with the book, with 11/22/63.
Yeah.
Which I didn't even talk about this yet.
Tell me.
Where I stopped. was after the Frank Dunning, when Jake Epping went back in time to make sure that Frank Dunning was out of the picture.
I thought we mentioned that.
Did I?
Yeah, on Friday's episode.
Oh, maybe we did. I'm sorry.
I thought maybe you read more of it this morning.
No. I thought, okay, maybe I did talk about that. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
I mean, we talked about a lot on Friday, so sometimes it's hard to keep track of what topics we never discussed or what topics we did.
That's the one thing about listening to other people do a podcast is they'll often bring up the same topics over and over again.
Yeah, I don't want to get into the habit of doing that.
Yeah, because that can be that's too much like morning radio. You know what I mean?
I don't know that some morning radio shows bring up the same topics over and over again.
That's been my experience, or just regular radio in general, because they have so many hours to fill.
Oh my goodness. That's cynical Wick.
Oh my goodness. It's like how, I guess in the podcast equivalent would be how whenever somebody talks to Joe Rogan about Sam Kinison, he always says, I read Sam Kinison's brother Bill wrote a book about him, and he talks about how Sam Kinison had a head injury as a kid, and didn't you know that Roseanne Barr also had a head injury? It's like, I've heard that.
Did she really?
Yeah, I've heard that like 80 times on this show.
I didn't know she had a head injury.
Yep.
Well, how bad was it?
I don't know the extent of it, but if you listen to Joe Rogan, he'll bring it up. But I just zone it out now whenever I hear him talk about that.
Oh, okay. Like,
Yeah, I heard that yesterday, Joe.
Okay.
But hopefully we're not quite at that level.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yes. We had a good morning though. We had some hot chocolate.
Yep. I made yours extra creamy.
Mm-hmm.
Did you like it?
I did.
Okay.
Yes.
We decided that I was gonna keep the milk in the fridge for another week because it won't expire until the 14th of this month. So I'm thinking, and I think we talked about this a couple hours ago, that more muffin baking is in the works.
That's possible. Just, keep smelling it throughout the week because we did open it and make sure that it doesn't go bad. But
yeah, and if it starts to smell rancid, because I can't stand the smell of rancid milk, I will make sure to buy more of that this week.
Nice.
Yes.
There we go there, little Jaylo.
That's right. Because those muffins, the ones that we made the first time turned out so good.
They did.
They were just, amazing.
We're expected to have another 90-degree day on Tuesday.
But it's just one day. It's not like a couple of days. It's just one.
It'll be like our 29th of the summer, I think.
Yeah. I don't think it's that many.
No, I saw something on the news.
29th, really?
I think so.
It doesn't. Maybe it's because there were some days in between that weren't too hot.
Mm-hmm.
The times that we went to see live concerts and they weren't that bad.
We were joking about global warming earlier this week, babes, because you follow it was always hotter in the 30s, but we didn't keep records that far back. And I said, you're right. There was that time we had a heat wave of 900-degree plus weather every day from January 1st, 1930 until December 31st, 1939.
I said, oh my God.
It was 900 degrees out every single day. And it was like a 10-year
you're exaggerating it, Bob. So I don't know if I mentioned this here, and correct me if I have, but I was interested in looking up on YouTube in the last couple of weeks about Death Valley, California, because it is like literally the hottest spot in the world because it has record highs of 134 degrees.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. I'm thinking, why would anybody want to be a tourist at that spot when you really have to take precautions? Like, you can't walk outside in the desert for that long.
Yep. I don't even know if it's safe to be out there for like a minute because you could get heat stroke.
Yeah.
I don't know how quickly you get a sunburn in that type of heat. I would imagine very quickly.
Yeah.
And right now in China, I think they're going through some extreme heat wave where they say that they can't even operate a lot of their equipment.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But, I mean, so I know some people like to go there to the Death Valley National Park, and I heard that there are places like there's something called Badwater Basin that people like to go and see.
Do they wash the dishes in it or what?
No.
Because it's a basin?
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, keep going.
I don't exactly know what it looks like, but I also heard that people have gone hiking there, which I thought is just absolutely insane.
Probably do that in the winter.
Yeah, but even so, I mean, I heard that the conditions there are not good.
So how hot does it get in December?
I don't know. We could probably look that up later on. But I would imagine that it still wouldn't be... I think it starts to get hot, like really hot there in May.
Yeah.
But I don't know about December. I wouldn't go there in December even.
Oh.
And I even checked the population of Death Valley National Park. I don't even think it's even 1,000.
Wow.
I don't know. I just can't imagine people living in that area. But having said that, the Manson family wanted to hide, and they went to Barker Ranch, which was in Death Valley. Sorry, you scared me. You did?
Nice.
I was like, what is that noise? Oh, it's you. Woof, woof. I would imagine dogs wouldn't be able to survive there, but...
No. So where's Charles Manson buried? I know I'm kind of switching things up.
I don't know, actually, to tell you the truth. I really don't. Why you want to go?
I was just curious. No.
But they thought they could hide in Death Valley while people were able to find them.
Nice.
Actually, there were two. I think there was one of the women who used to be a part of the family. Her and her friend escaped, and they walked like miles. And
we
miles
talked about this
and
here, I
miles
think.
and miles. Yeah. I can't imagine.
Go ahead.
Seriously, I think you need to get your GI tract checked.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah, those conditions are just so severe.
Yeah.
I don't know why anybody would want to be a tourist there.
I don't know, babes.
But that's just me.
Well, good.
Yes. That is just me.
Yes. Well, pretty soon we'll all be that hot.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, they say like within the next 20 years. So right now, and I hope I'm getting this right, there's like 7 million people in the U.S. who've experienced temperatures around 120 degrees. And they say with climate change within the next 20 years, that number is going to rise to 107 million people.
They keep saying that, but that's the same people who said that the world is going to end in 12 years, and there's absolutely no evidence to support their claims.
I never heard that claim, but they also...
Oh, yeah, even your girlfriend, AOC, who said that girls should not have kids or grandkids because they won't live to see the... They won't live in 12 years. So I just think it's just one of these scare tactics that these people want to use to scare people into thinking that that it's going to rise when... Well, I just think it's a lot of fear mongering.
Consider this. I want to say in 2004 there was this big global meeting with climate scientists. And they released their worst estimates for what the planet will look like in 80 years. And in 2017, they came out and said that we had already exceeded their worst estimates in the 13-year period. So there's reason to be cautious there.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of lying and fear mongering, and a lot of people are dumb enough to buy it. I just do not agree with any of their statistics.
Yeah, and I would say that there's a lot of...
And by the way, they've changed it from global warming to global cooling to now it's climate change, when the climate has always changed, but it's not quite as bad as what they think it is. And I think that now they're trying to use that in order for us to comply to what they want us to do.
I would make the argument that scientists have said it was wrong for them to come out with the term global warming, and that they should have used the term climate change from the start. So a lot of them, right, but a lot of them have said that was a mistake.
I'm going to fix your pillow.
And also, yes, it's true that our climate has always changed throughout the course of the history of the planet, but we've been accelerating it
No, we
a
haven't.
lot.
By the way, who created this universe?
I believe it was Gold? Gabe? God? No. I think it was something called God or something. No, some sort of higher power probably created.
Oh my goodness, you're mocking again.
No.
I don't kiss mocking boys.
I don't either, so give me a kiss.
No,
because I don't kiss mocking boys. I don't either, babe,
You're
so give me a kiss.
copying me.
Alright, I don't kiss mocking boys
Okay,
either.
let's move on from
Give me a
this
kiss.
climate change.
Give me a kiss.
No.
Give me a kiss.
No.
Give me a kiss.
You say sorry.
Sorry.
Mocking boy.
Sorry, you're a mocking boy.
No.
And I don't kiss mocking boys.
I'm not a boy.
Good.
Oh my god.
And again, I would just make the argument that if you believe in the Bible, which I don't, but it does say that somewhere in there, I believe that humans are supposed to be good stewards of the land.
But first off,
we can move on.
I just want to finish it with this.
Go ahead.
Stewardship doesn't mean taking away our vehicles and telling people not to have children, and also telling people not to eat meat because it supposedly ruins the environment. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and I would say that.
And you said a lot, and it doesn't mean that electric cars are going to save the planet either, because the right now our grid is not going to be able to handle that right now because if people have, I mean, it's a really bad idea to force people to buy electric cars when these electric cars are just extremely expensive. It's not our grid is not ready for it, and I think they have some crazy ideas about fossil fuels destroying our planet. So anyway, that's all I have to say.
And I would say
that's all I have to say about that.
Okay, well, that's
and I think we should move on.
And I would say real quick, babes.
No.
I would say that electric cars alone won't save our environment. Yes, they are pricey now, but that's because they're not available to enough people. And oil dependency has put us in a horrible position, even outside of climate change, because now we have to deal with countries like Iran.
Oil is a natural resource, and why not use our natural resources instead of getting our resources from other countries? And by the way, I just want to say for the last part of the segment, I will not comply. Moving on.
I don't even know what that means.
I will not comply to the crazy environmentalist agenda.
Okay, well, I would say,
enough.
Hold on. I would say, let's use natural resources. Why aren't we concentrating on solar energy in this country?
Because solar energy hasn't really been proven to do anything for the environment. And windmills aren't really doing anything either. But
if you look at it, one of the reasons we can't move forward, and I know you're not going to like this, is because of the Republican agenda. Hold on. Stop.
Moving on. We're on this way too much. Okay, moving on now.
Because if you
moving on.
Oh, no. Don't take that.
Never a dull moment on Green, Jaylo, and Hammond. Okay, enough now. Okay, let's move on, please.
Are we gonna end the tickle war?
Tickle, whoa!
Give me a kiss.
I just want to say before we move on, that for those of you who are listening to this, this is what really happens in real life. No joke.
And I just want to say, let's look into solar energy. Don't let the Republicans. Don't let the Republicans stop us from looking into solar energy.
Hey.
All right, now moving on, babes.
Okay.
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 All right, so last night, we decided to make teriyaki chicken.
Yes, we did.
And I was going to let you judge the size of the pieces that you bought. And
Yeah.
you're like, oh, Bob, you're fine. And then we start marinating them, and I put them in the bag, and you're like, Bob, your mother was need to be cut up.
Well, I didn't. I should have looked in there before you did that. But anyway, I did cut them up into much smaller pieces. I couldn't cut everything really, really tiny, but I cut them up into manageable pieces. Chicken can be a little bit tough to cut. But I did it.
Nice.
And we put the veggies in my skillet. We've been using my skillet for that, and the chicken just turned out really good.
It did.
And so did the veggies, because we put some green bell pepper, and some carrots, and water chestnuts. Chestnut. Is that all? I think we did, right?
Did we do broccoli?
Oh, yes, broccoli, yeah. Another thing of broccoli. And then I also cooked the rice.
Yes.
And the rice turned out pretty good.
It did.
Yeah. So, and then I noticed that when I was cleaning out my skillet, the sauce caramelized,
mm-hmm.
which was fine. I'm like, oh, what happened to the thing? And it was just crumbling off of the skillet. And I asked you, and you're like, oh, I think the sauce may have just caramelized.
Yes.
Like, okay. But it was a really good meal, and I have leftovers.
Good.
Which is good.
Tonight we will be making burritos.
I'm anxious to see what happens when we cook the beans in the skillet, because I think it should work.
Yes.
And the corn. And we have leftover chicken for that too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I need to see eventually about getting cutting gloves.
Now you've heard about this through the commission out here. I think that sounds like overhyped stuff, cutting gloves. It sounds like something somebody made who doesn't understand blindness.
Well, judging by the teacher who talked to me, she happens to be blind.
Yeah.
And I think she would know more about that than we would.
Well, I went to a blindness training center, and I taught cooking classes there.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody there ever said anything about cutting gloves.
Well, I mean, I want to give this person the benefit of the doubt, because she has been cooking for years, and she has been teaching cooking for years. And the other blind person who's been, I don't know how long this person has been there, but I would imagine that the other teacher would know, because they're both blind. So I'm gonna see how that works.
Okay. We'll see, babes.
But you can't just make declarative statements like, somebody made it up. You know.
I can, and I did.
No.
Okay, but I love you.
No, you can't declare something unless you know the tools.
I can, and I did.
Oh, goodness.
Good. Babes?
Yeah?
We watched some movies last night.
We did. I unfortunately, I was up for a lot of it, but I was kind of tired for some of it. I'm going to let you give a recap of it.
Out of the Past.
Yes, and it was a good movie, by the way.
Okay. Robert Mitchum is a guy in a small town. Somebody from his past tracks him down. And he goes on a ride with his girlfriend to tell of what happened. We have a flashback. Find out that Kirk Douglas is this rich dude who hired Robert Mitchum to track down this girl. What's her name?
Kathy Moffat.
Kathy Moffat, because Kathy stole $40,000 from him.
Yep.
So Mitchum goes down to Mexico, finds her, they fall in love. Kirk Douglas comes down there. There's some shenanigans, but Mitchum and her sneak off, and they're just kind of like living their life, going around the country. One day when they're in San Francisco, an associate of Kirk Douglas tracks him down. Kathy kills him.
Yep.
And they split up.
Yep.
Come back to what is then modern times. And after he explained it to his girl, he goes in to meet with Kirk Douglas.
Yep.
Who basically says, there's a man who helped me cheat the IRS out of a lot of money. He wants a bribe. I want you to get my bank statements back from him.
Yep.
And by the way, your girl Kathy is here.
Kathy here.
And they all have breakfast together.
Yep.
She's pretending to be the secretary to the guy.
Leonard, I think his last name was Eels. Leonard Eels.
I thought his first name was Eels. But maybe
Leonard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your man goes over to his place, the place of Leonard Eels, meets him, and tries to like give him a warning that something is up.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't really trust Kathy at this point.
Kathy.
Goes away, and then eventually Mitchum comes back to Eels' place, and he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
He hides the body, and eventually gets the notebook with all of the financial information, goes to Kathy and says, "You're gonna try to set me up for this murder. I'm not down with it." They get a hold of Kirk Douglas, and they're all like, I'm willing to give you the information and the body, but I want $50,000. And by the way, you can't trust Kathy. She's the one who had one of your guys killed. Now, Robert Mitchum, before they came back to, ask him to assist, he was running a car repair shop and had a death assistant. Okay, another guy is killed, and I only mention that because that's going to come up near the end of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Another guy is killed. I'm sorry, the guy was killed before he went to see Kirk Douglas, and then Kirk Douglas is killed. Him and Kathy go off because she's like, "I'm running the show now. You're going to be my man." While she's upstairs getting her stuff, Kirk Douglas calls the police.
Mm-hmm.
They're driving. She pulls out a gun. Robert Mitchum and her struggle. He gets shot, and then the police shoot her.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of it, Robert Mitchum's girlfriend goes over to talk to the death guy.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the movie.
I don't know why it ended like that.
No.
Because the deaf guy wasn't going to tell her that he was going to Mexico with Kathy.
Yeah. And here's the thing.
Yeah.
It's easy to say that the deaf stuff in this movie was a product of its time because it's from 1947.
Yeah.
But I think I told you this last night. If this film was made today, they do the deaf stuff now. The only difference is they do a documentary explaining why they had to hire a quote-unquote non-disabled person to play the role of the deaf guy.
Right.
They'd still hire a non-disabled person to do it, but they did explain it away with a cute documentary about how he's like the best actor ever who you've never heard of.
I guess.
Right.
After your cynicism talking.
But it's true. They to this day, they rarely cast non-disabled, or
right.
they rarely cast disabled actors in non-disabled
except for
parts.
except for
parts.
Maybe Marlee Matlin.
Yeah.
Alexa.
Oh my goodness.
Stop. Well, for the exception of Marlee Matlin, who has always been deaf.
Okay.
As far as I know.
But they try to cast able-bodied actors to play disabled parts even to this day, so I think that the ableism in this film would still be used in films if they did a remake of this.
Yeah, I do agree with you on that.
Yeah. So that stuff is unbelievable with the deaf guy.
Yeah.
But besides for that, I enjoyed this movie.
The deaf guy was supposed to be Jeff Bailey's. That's Robert Mitchum, I think.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be Jeff Bailey's associate.
Or assistant at the car shop.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this film.
I thought it was good for what I was awake for. I liked it because even though we both think it deserves at least a week 8.
Yeah.
Kathy Moffat, I forgot who played her. She ended up being the killer, not a guy.
Yeah.
A woman was the killer. And you usually don't have movies like this with women as the killers.
I think Jane Greer played Kathy in the movie.
Jane Greer, yeah. That was it.
It was really well done.
It was very good.
I don't know if there's any deep questions to ask about it, though. Well, I guess one would be, what does this movie teach us about how the past can sometimes haunt you?
Well, some people have a very checkered past and they want to bury it, right? And Kathy did not do a good job of making amends with the past. And so the past just caught up with her. And she had to get rid of the people that were standing in the way of that, or whatever it was.
Yeah, and in some ways, Robert Mitchum is stuck in the past because the whole reason he's in this town with this car shop is because he's hiding from Kirk Douglas.
I mean, and it also brings up unfinished business, and we've talked about that, right?
Yeah.
Some people are stuck in the past because they have unfinished business and they can't let go of it.
Very good, babes.
What do you say?
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Would you recommend this film to your family? And if so, what's the elevator pitch?
Beware of Kathy Moffat. She'll kill you. No, I mean, I think all I would say is, and I don't have an elevator pitch, but it's something to think about when it comes to the past and unfinished business. And what do you do about it?
Nice.
With anything.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yes.
And then we watched another Kirk Douglas movie.
Paths of Glory, which was directed by the Stanley Kubrick.
Yes.
So I'm just going to give just a quick, not necessarily a synopsis, but basically what it's about.
Go ahead.
This is about a group of soldiers in France. Were they were fighting in the French army, correct?
They were fighting in the U.S. Army, but this is during World War I, and France was our ally.
France was our ally, I'm sorry. And there were some things about this this group of soldiers that kind of made me laugh. And at that time, they were fighting the Germans.
Yes.
Yeah. And some of them should not have been in the military because I guess at the time they were men that were 18 and over were drafted. A lot of them were drafted to be in the war.
Mm-hmm.
There was a specific guy, I forgot what his name is, but he was probably the weakest out of all of them because he was crying and he was kind of a wimp and didn't want to do anything that had to do with explosives. And to the outsider, this group looked like they were very incompetent. What would you say?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But keep going. I would say you're still missing the general plot of the movie, though.
Why don't you fill that in?
Okay. There's a general who is told, if you take this specific area, we're going to give you accommodations and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So he forces Kirk Douglas, who is the colonel, to take his men and take what is called an anthill.
That's right.
But it's basically an unwinnable battle. So Kirk Douglas pulls his men back.
Mm-hmm.
And the general is furious and says, okay, well, 3 of your men are going to get executed for disobeying orders, for cowardice, basically.
Yeah.
Kirk Douglas tries to defend them, but the military says they got to be executed.
Yeah.
And it's basically, to me, this film is an indictment on war and an indictment on the idea of the chain of command.
Yep.
That's how I would break it down.
Yeah. Now, there was a scene that I'll never forget because the priest was visiting the men that are supposed to be executed.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the men, which I just mentioned was the weakest of all of them, was just crying a lot. And I think he might have been reciting the rosary. It was hard to tell, but he was the one that was just fighting to stay alive because he was just afraid to die, and that he didn't think he should die, and he wasn't going to see his wife and child again. And on the day of execution, he was crying to the priest all the way up until they were going to be shot.
But when you say weak, let's put this in perspective.
Yeah.
This is a character who may have been drafted.
Yeah.
So some rich person fights with some other rich person, and now this guy has to pay for it. And then he's going to get executed by his military because some general wants another gold star.
Right, yeah.
You know.
No, but I'm taking that into consideration about what happened at the end with the general.
Okay.
He was being used as a pawn.
Yes.
And the other men were being used as pawns, and I'm not saying that's right. It wasn't right. But I had to feel for those men.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the man that was really resisting and saying, I'm really scared, I don't want to die. I had to feel for those men.
What's interesting to me too is oftentimes generals who give orders like this will come home and be considered heroes.
Yeah. And I think it touches me more because I come from a family of military people.
Yeah.
My dad was in the military. My cousins are in the military, unless that's changed. My uncles were in the military. One of them died while he was in the military. Not because he was in battle, but something else. And then my other uncles have retired for the military.
Yeah.
So that touches me really, probably a lot more than anybody, than anyone that I would know, just because I come from a very military family.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what do you think of that idea? Like, you could have somebody killed for not wanting to go into a battle that they're probably going to get killed in, and there's no reason to do it, and yet you could come home and be considered a hero, like the old general in the story.
I suppose that could happen. I don't know how often that happens.
I think that happens a lot more in our society than we would like to admit.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you because a lot of the things that has happened when my dad was in the military, I don't know about.
Oh.
So I can't really tell you unless I was actually in it.
What does this film teach us about the chain of command?
There are some chains of command that are not like the one that we just saw in the movie. So I don't know what to say about that, just because I don't know what all goes inside of the military and ranks and how much people know about what goes on in the chain of command.
What can we learn about this film about dishonor in higher ranks?
Oh, you mean like how the one general was used? What are you talking about?
Well, I'm talking about how the one general reacted. I would say would be a better way to phrase it.
Oh, are you talking about the way Kirk Douglas reacted?
No, I'm talking about the general, the dude above him. The one who is told at the beginning of the movie, well, if you do this for us, we're going to look on you very favorably. And as a result, he basically sends these men out to die. And when they're a little bit hesitant, he orders somebody to fire on them. But yet he's not the one who's facing death.
Yeah, that's pretty corrupt, I would say. And I understand why Kirk Douglas reacted the way he did.
Yeah.
Because his men were used as pawns for this general's gold star. And
it's easy to just say this is a film about a military, but we could also say this is a film about corporate America. This is a film about companies who poison baby products and don't want to say anything about it. This is a film about people who want to poison water wells and don't want to say anything about it. This is a film about corruption and the chain of command and how that affects people, I think. And the war is just a metaphor.
It's possible. I mean, you could talk about other corporations that are putting horrible things in our food.
Yeah.
That we don't even know about. They haven't. They're not being held to a higher standard. Oh no, I'm sorry. I should take that back. They are being. They're not. It seems to me anyway that no one is making a big deal about it.
Exactly.
And it should be made a big deal about it because as consumers, we really should know what's going into our food.
Just like as American citizens, we really should know some of the tricks. Well, I say that. I say we really should know some of the tricks our military is using. But then the counter argument to that would be, well, yeah, Rick, that sounds great on paper. But if we really knew that and the American people protested, then another country could easily come in and take us over, right? So, but on the surface, at least, it's a really powerful film that speaks to the corruption of power.
Right.
I dig this movie a lot. I thought it was strong in my opinion.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It really makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
It really makes you think. When how many men were taken to be shot?
Only
Roughly?
3.
Only 3. Wow.
But it makes you wonder how much that happens in real life. And we're just not privy to it.
Now, what did you think about one of the last scenes when we see that woman singing in German? Because remember when those men were
Yep.
cheering because there's a woman on the scene and she doesn't tell any good jokes. She's not that talented, but she can sing.
When I was first watching it, I was trying to get the point to it.
Yeah.
And then it kind of came to me. We're watching soldiers dehumanize a woman because he's German.
Yeah.
But they need to let off steam because they were dehumanized.
Right.
Right. And the colonel is watching this kind of with the understanding, because it was right after he yelled out that one general.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of with the understanding that these men are going to face a lot more battles because I stood up.
Yeah.
And put myself on the line. They're all going to suffer along with me. I think that was really an interesting commentary on how we dehumanize each other.
Yeah, we basically eat and devour each other.
Yeah, and it's not over the top too. It's not like they're torturing this woman by making her sing, and you could say, "Oh, what a torture!" Mm-hmm. But she's still a prisoner of war.
Right.
But it's not like other movies where they just be like ripping her body to shreds.
And they're singing with her too.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure what to make of it, honestly.
I thought it was brilliant because he does it in such a unique way. Stanley Kubrick made another war picture, and I really like it. It's called Full Metal Jacket. Even there's a great argument against that film because the second half of the movie is a lot weaker than the first half.
I'm going to say there's no 3 halves.
I know. The second half isn't as good as the first half.
Okay.
But it's still a great movie. In some ways, though, I think Paths of Glory is better than Full Metal Jacket.
And when did Full Metal Jacket come out?
I want to say 86 or 87.
Okay.
It's still worth watching, by the way. But I like Paths of Glory more, I think.
I think so, too.
Yeah. Well, you haven't seen Full Metal Jacket. We got to watch it at some point. It is a really good film.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Paths of Glory, there was something about it. And I can't say much about Full Metal Jacket. I can only say it by what you said. But, yeah, it was interesting because when that woman was singing, I didn't understand it because I don't know German.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, why are they making her sing?
And why are they showing this in the movie? Because
I know.
It doesn't really make any sense at first. It's one of those things that I kind of had to think about. Because if you don't think about it, you could say to yourself, well, this doesn't make sense to the rest of the movie. But then you start to put it together. Well, these guys know that 3 of their friends were randomly selected to be executed. And they're just letting off steam. And part of that is kind of torturing a woman who is just happened to be born a German citizen. And
did you notice any reaction from her when they were kind of gawking at her and ogling her?
It was hard to tell, but I got the sense that she was afraid.
Like she thought that, oh, what are these men gonna do to me?
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of dehumanizing does happen in the military to women too. A lot of that happens. Not to every woman.
Yeah.
But there have been reported rapes in the military, and they were done by the commanding officers.
Yeah.
And also other people that were above them, and it's like, and the military has gotten a lot of flack for not doing anything about it, and I'm glad that's being exposed.
I am too. So there's the aspect that she's a woman, but there's also, more importantly, she's our enemy in this film because we were fighting against Germany in World War I. And you already know this, and we discussed this earlier. I'm a bit of a lib. So in some ways, it would be easy to say, no, we can't dehumanize our enemies. They're humans too, and blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, that attitude isn't necessarily going to win you a war if you say our enemies are human. And at the same point, as humans, it's good to look at other people like they deserve basic rights. So how do we reconcile these things? And I don't know if there is a good answer for that. How do we reconcile our enemies are still human, but if we treat them like that, we're going to lose this thing?
Right. I think that, again, like I've said before, good is good and evil is evil.
Yeah.
And if they are enemies and they really want to harm us, we have to get them out of the way. And we can't treat them like they're human beings because they are our enemies and they are going to kill us. So you kind of have to take yourself out of it emotionally sometimes. It's hard to do. It's just like if you're dissecting an animal, you can't think of it as somebody's cat.
Right.
Or if you're dissecting a human, even, because there are, cadavers, so people have to do that. If you're looking at a cadaver, you can't think of it as that's somebody's mom, that's somebody's dad, because it's going to take you out of it completely.
I would say, though, that with this, it's a little bit different because we're dealing with live people as opposed to a dead corpse. So it's. But I hear what you're saying.
Well, here's an example, right?
Yeah.
The only reason why I'm bringing up Trump is for this.
Okay.
This is the only reason. The people were getting after him for calling ISIS animals.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he referred to them as that because they were our enemies.
By the way, I don't actually have a problem with what Trump said.
Yeah.
I mean, because they, at the end of the day, they are humans, but they are acting like animals. So I actually don't agree with the criticism that the left gave him over those comments.
Yeah, like if you, and it doesn't have to be ISIS, if you call a school shooter or somebody who shot up, tried to shoot up a grocery store in Bend, but only ended up killing 2 people, that person was not acting like a human being. They didn't care about their fellow man.
Exactly.
All they cared about was what they cared about, and they were willing to kill people for it.
I believe there was a time where Trump called a school shooter not an animal, but a loser, and he got some pushback by the media, but I actually thought of it like, I actually agreed with Trump on that.
Yeah, you call a person, it's not time to humanize someone who just dehumanized other people.
Yeah.
Who just went and methodically thought about killing people. They're no longer acting like human beings. They're pretty much animals.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So how do we reconcile, and again, it's not that we're going to come up with all the answers today.
Yeah.
That with the fact that, yeah, I get it. We call them animals in the heat of battle or when somebody shoots up a school, but they are humans. So it's one thing to do that on the field when you're fighting. It's another thing the war's been over for 10 years and you think of somebody you killed and you try to high five your wife because you murdered a person. And I'm not saying that soldiers do that, but I'm just saying that it's got to be a tough thing for somebody to reconcile in their head.
Well, I was just listening to an interview on a show about this guy who did go through major PTSD because he realized that he had to murder people because they were our enemies. And he was in the Army, and the Army is known for killing a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because they were on the battlefield. They were they're the branch of the military that has been known for being on the battlefield a lot. And he had to grapple with that. He had to grapple with the fact that he killed human lives, but it was for a purpose because they were our enemies. And I think that's why a lot of people from the military come back and they're so different, because they had to face that they will have to be responsible for deaths, and learning about, noises like gunshots and things like that would really keep them on high alert.
Yeah.
And I know this for a fact because one of my brother-in-laws had to deal with that. He was in the military for a while too. And he has to be on high alert a lot. He feels like he has to be on high alert. And I think that's something that he's still coming to grips with. And, and not just that, a lot of people in his life have died. Yeah. And he has not come to grips with those deaths. So major, that would cause anyone to have major PTSD.
I would think so, yeah.
And then some people just haven't come to grips with it.
There's something that I've been debating in my head for years, even years before we met.
Yeah.
And that's the thing of, well, we say we live in, we have a really weak generation, right? And I think that there is some truth to that. Like, our generation in some ways is kind of weak. Mm-hmm. And there's always this thing comparing it to our fathers or our grandfathers' generation. But in my mind, sometimes what I'll do is I'll compare our generation to like the Revolutionary War generation, mm-hmm. where people just die, not just from war, but all these insane diseases. Mm-hmm. And I'll think to myself, well, compared to them, we're really weak. But also compared to them, we don't have nearly the amount of PTSD as they had. Now, granted, they didn't call it that back then.
No, they didn't.
They didn't know what it was. But there was this, I'm assuming from reading history books, I'm not that old, but I'm assuming there was this like insane pain that society must have had back then. And there was no way to diagnose it. So I don't know how to reconcile all that.
I don't know either. And I don't know what goes on in every branch of military.
Yeah.
Because whatever somebody went in the Army isn't what somebody else went through when they were in the Marines or the Navy. Most of the people in my family were in the Navy, and as far as I understand it, a lot of them are doing things underwater. But they also help people when they're in need.
Yeah.
They do, bring food and clothing to people that need it. So I don't know if they probably do a lot of fighting as well. They have to have guns with them too.
Are we?
So, I don't know.
Ever going to do a war weekend where we watch?
I'd rather not do that. I just think it's too heavy.
Oh.
I can only handle so much war.
Okay. White House.
I just can't. I can't put that much heaviness. Ugh.
Nice.
No. No.
Okay.
I don't know if I can handle that. Yeah.
What would you give this movie on a scale from 1 to 10?
I thought we agreed that it was a strong 8.
Oh, well, good. I just
No. I said strong 8. Yeah.
Would you recommend this film to your family? If so, what's your elevator pitch?
I don't have one.
Okay. You don't have a family?
I don't have an elevator pitch.
Okay. Would you recommend it to them?
Yes, I would.
What would you say?
Well, I think this would be good to watch because, like I said, I have I have a pro-military family, and it would really make them think about the chain of command, and not every chain of command in the military. I don't believe all of them are corrupt.
Yeah.
I do think that there are corrupt things happening behind the scenes, but not every chain of command is corrupt.
Absolutely.
And I think it really makes you think about, well, who should be called a Gold Star hero and who should not be called a Gold Star hero?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't think we've had a president who served in the military.
No, I don't think so.
Since, I was going to say Kennedy, but it's actually George H.W. Bush was the last president we had who served.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you are correct.
Yeah, so in the last 60 years, we've only had 2 presidents who served in the military.
Kennedy and George Bush Sr.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're correct.
Which is interesting because they both come from like super rich elite families. And the only time we ever came close to having another president who served in the military was John Kerry, who came from a rich family. So, well, John Kerry and then John McCain. Wow.
Yeah.
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 The only other 2 times we came close. That's super interesting to me.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. But I don't know what else to say, babes.
Yeah, and we know that Joe Biden has lied about being in the military.
Oh, has he?
Yes, he has. He's lied about a bunch of stuff.
He didn't say he was in the military, did he?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He lied about serving in the military.
I'm going to have to check into that.
I believe it had something to do with the military, but he definitely was not linked to the military.
I know one of his sons served in the military.
I think that might have been Bo, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't Hunter.
Oh,
no, he did. Yeah, Hunter Biden. No, he really did lie about being linked to the military somehow.
And also George W. Bush did too. Let's not forget that.
Oh.
There was issues with his military record.
There was also issues with John McCain's military record as well.
Yeah. Although McCain actually, and I'm not a John McCain fan, but if we're going to be fair, he did actually serve time in a prisoner of war camp and had the opportunity to get out early, but didn't take it because his men wouldn't get out early too. So there's a lot of stuff to hate about McCain, but he did serve in the military, and from what I could tell, he stood up for his men too when they were in the prisoner of war camp.
Actually, he also left his crew when something was going on with the ship. He actually left his ship. So.
I don't know about that, but I know that he stood by his crew when they were in the war camp. So
I don't know about that. If he left his crew when he was not in the war camp. So
no, for real. He had an opportunity to get out early because his dad was an admiral in the military, but he said that he wouldn't do it unless his men could get out. I hate John McCain, but there were good things that he did.
You say hate a lot.
I do.
You don't really hate these people. You don't know.
I don't really hate John McCain, but he did stuff that I hate.
I don't. I'll say this right now. I do not respect John McCain. I don't care if he's no longer with us. And I also have read a little bit more about why he married his wife Cindy.
Yeah.
And that he was married before, but the reason why they're not married is because his wife got into this horrible car accident and left her paralyzed, and he left her to be with pretty rich Cindy Hensley.
Yeah, I heard that too.
And I think that's horrible. I think it's a horrible legacy.
Here's the thing. McCain was a very complicated character. And again, it would be easy for me to just say he was a horrible person because he did a lot of things that I think were horrible for our country. Mm. But he also did some good stuff. And for real, he could have gotten out of serving in Vietnam. He could have very easily. So I would say he's a very, very, very complicated character. And I can't defend him 100%. I could make an argument why he was a horrible person, but I could also make an argument why he was a great person too. And then within the truth is probably somewhere down the middle. He did great things and he did horrible things.
I also really have not much to say about his daughter, Meghan McCain, because that's a different story entirely.
Yeah, and John McCain for real. If you think that I'm just saying he's all good, I'll say the name Sarah Palin.
No, well, hold on a second. I think Sarah Palin did not get a fair shake. Now, granted, when I was hearing about Sarah Palin before, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, I accidentally hit you with my foot.
When I was hearing about Sarah Palin during the Obama-McCain campaign, I didn't know what to think about her because I thought the media really painted her as being really stupid. I do not think that way now. I think that she was responsible for the Tea Party movement, which now that I know more about the Tea Party movement, I thought that they were very misrepresented in the leftist media. And I was very surprised, actually, now that I think about John McCain, why he would pick Sarah Palin, because they're two different types of candidates.
Well, one, I think the Tea Party movement was horrible for our country. And
why do you think it's horrible? Because they don't espouse your values?
I'm going to go with what my values are, and they were not for the people. They pretended to be, but what did they do for everyday people? Besides say that they didn't like Obama, what did they actually
Well,
fight
they
for
were
that helped
trying to
Americans?
fight for they were trying to fight for what they felt American values were, and not what the left felt American values were.
Yeah, and they didn't feel that Americans had the right to health insurance. They didn't fight for any programs for the poor people of this country. And I'm sorry, but if we're going to rag on other politicians for not being for those things, we should rag on them too. And they got caught up in the whole birther thing. Sarah Palin, to me, is not an intelligent person. If you go to 6 schools to get a degree, that doesn't say much about your
intelligence. But that was but now that I think back on it, I honestly think it was the left's way of trying to say that Obama was a good president because he was black. That's the way that I see it. And anyone that was against Obama's policies was anti-black or anti. What am I saying? Anyone that was against Obama's policies didn't like him because he was black, and they always played the race card on Obama, and they never asked him any hard questions.
Well, wait a second. There's a little bit of truth to that, but there's also the truth to the fact that a lot of people on the right hated Obama because he was black. But they wouldn't. Let me give you an example.
No, that's not true.
Let me give you an example.
That's not true.
You want me to give you an example?
No.
Right, because all right, let me tell you something.
I thought we were off of politics.
You brought us back. So let me give you... hold on. Quick example. I remember when Obama was president and he invited Common to the White House. And Sarah Palin came out and said, you can't have a rapper like Common at the White House because he's anti-American and he's crazy and he's over-the-top racist. Okay. You know who the first president was who had a rapper at the White House?
Who was that?
And this is documented. George H.W. Bush.
Okay.
You know who that rapper was?
Who?
Eazy-E.
Wow.
Eazy-E, part of NWA.
Well, wait a minute, though. George, you have to take this into consideration. George W. Bush.
H.W. Bush.
George H.W. Bush was kind of a reach across the aisle type of a person. So he may have, quote, called himself a Republican, but he also wanted to be he also tried to be bipartisan and sort of, get along with the Democrats.
But my point is, babes, well, one, Eazy was a Republican.
Eazy was a Republican?
Yeah, I know.
Are you serious?
That's how he got to the White House, because he was a big donator to the Republican Party.
Yeah, but that doesn't make him a Republican, does it?
Well, but he donated tens of thousands of dollars to the Republican Party, and that's why he was invited to the White House. So there's that, but there's also, you're going to criticize Obama for doing something, and yet one of the leaders from your own party did something that was, if you believe Obama was wrong for inviting Common to the White House, maybe that also makes George H.W. Bush even more in the wrong. And by the way, I don't think Obama was wrong to do that. But I'm just giving you one example of one thing. And I don't necessarily think George H.W. Bush was wrong for inviting Eazy-E to the White House either. But if you're going to criticize one person for doing something, you should also maybe know a little bit of the history of this type of thing. But anyways, we can drop it now.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
I think so.
I think so.
I think so. Yes. Yes.
I think so.
You think so.
Yes.
Yes. And Sarah Palin got a divorce from her husband. Real family
That's
values.
sad, though.
Yeah, real family values.
Bubs.
All right. That's okay. Give me a kiss and let's wrap this up.
No mockingbird.
I never would. Give me a kiss.
Okay.
And I also think you need a snack too.
I was actually thinking that we both need a snack.
We both need a snack.
We both need one.
Yeah. All right. So let's wrap this up.
Okay.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye. And Sarah Palin's done.